On October 11, 2025, the world bid farewell to one of Hollywood's most singular and beloved talents, Diane Keaton. News of her death at the age of 79 sent a wave of sadness across the entertainment industry and among fans around the globe. She was more than just a movie star. She was an original, a woman whose wit, warmth, and wonderfully offbeat personality carved out a space in Hollywood unlike anyone else's. In the days following her passing, tributes poured in from fellow actors, directors, and admirers, each one recalling a woman who left an indelible mark on both the art of cinema and the spirit of individuality. Diane Keaton's life story is not only about an extraordinary career, but also about the evolution of a woman who, against all odds, managed to remain unapologetically herself. Diane Hall, later known to the world as Diane Keaton, was born on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, California. She grew up in a creative household. Her mother, Dorothy, was a homemaker and amateur photographer who once won Mrs. Los Angeles, while her father, John Newton Ignatius Hall, worked as a civil engineer and real estate broker. She was the oldest of 4 children, and from a young age, Diane was drawn to performance. She idolized Katharine Hepburn and was fascinated by the glamour of Hollywood, though she didn't quite fit the mold of a typical starlet. She attended Santa Ana High School and later studied at Santa Ana College before moving to New York to train at the neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater, where she began nurturing the acting craft that would make her famous. In the late 1960s, Keaton's career began to take shape on stage. She earned attention in the original Broadway production of Hair in 1968, but quickly became known for an unusual contract clause. She refused to perform nude, something that set her apart from most of the cast. This early act of defiance foreshadowed a career defined by personal conviction. Her breakout came shortly after when she was cast in Woody Allen's play Play It Again, Sam, on Broadway in 1969. The role not only launched her career, but also led to a personal and professional partnership with Allen that would define much of her early success. By 1972, Diane Keaton made the leap to film in a way few ever could. She was cast as Kay Adams in The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Playing the sweet, intelligent, but ultimately conflicted partner and later wife of Michael Corleone, portrayed by Al Pacino, Keaton held her own in a film dominated by powerful male performances. Her subtle, yet memorable presence earned her widespread acclaim. She reprised the role in The Godfather Part 2, 1974, and later, The Godfather Part 3, 1990, sealing her place in cinematic history. The mid to late 1970s would see Keaton become a household name thanks to her collaborations with Woody Allen. Films like Sleeper, 1973, Love and Death, 1975, and especially Annie Hall, 1977, allowed her comedic talent and quirky charm to shine. Annie Hall, in particular, was a cultural phenomenon. Keaton's portrayal of the lovable, insecure, free-spirited title character won her the Academy Award for Best Actress, and her androgynous fashion sense, loose trousers, men's vests, and wide-brimmed hats became an international trend. She wasn't just acting, she was rewriting what it meant to be a leading lady. In a Hollywood landscape dominated by hyper-style glamour, Diane Keaton was real, awkward, brilliant, and irresistibly herself. The 1980s and 1990s brought new dimensions to her career. She earned her second Oscar nomination for Reds, 1981, starring opposite Warren Beatty. In this sweeping political epic, Keaton demonstrated her range as an actress, blending intellect with vulnerability. She also appeared in Shoot the Moon, 1982, Crimes of the Heart, 1986, and Baby Boom, 1987, the last of which became a touchstone film about career women balancing ambition and family. By this point, Diane Keaton wasn't just a quirky romantic lead. She was a respected, bankable star who could headline serious dramas and lighthearted comedies with equal ease. In 1991, Keaton took on a role that would introduce her to a new generation, Nina Banks in Father of the Bride. Starring alongside Steve Martin, she embodied warmth, humor, and grace, making the film a beloved classic and reprising the role in its 1995 sequel. Just a year later, she starred in The First Wives Club, 1996, alongside Goldie Hawn and Bette Midler, a film that became an anthem for female empowerment and midlife reinvention. Her performance was sharp, funny, and heartfelt, a reminder that Keaton was not only aging on her own terms, but also giving a voice to women doing the same. Her work in Marvin's Room, 1996, earned her another Academy Award nomination, reaffirming her critical acclaim. She continued to build a reputation as a fearless performer, unafraid of emotionally challenging roles. Yet she never lost her comedic touch. In 2003, she starred opposite Jack Nicholson in Something's Gotta Give, a romantic comedy about love later in life. The film was a huge success, and Keaton received yet another Oscar nomination for Best Actress. At a time when Hollywood often sidelines older women, Keaton proved not only that she could still be a romantic lead, but that audiences adored her in that role. Outside of acting, Diane Keaton was a woman of many passions. She became a director and producer, working behind the camera on projects like Heaven, 1987, Unstrung Heroes, 1995, and several television films. She was also a photographer, interior designer, and author of multiple best-selling memoirs, including Then Again, 2011, in which she shared her personal journey with honesty and humor. She was a devoted preservationist, known for restoring historic homes and promoting architectural conservation. Her love of hats, glasses, and layered menswear became her signature look, so much so that it turned her into a fashion icon without her ever trying to be one. Keaton never married, and she often spoke candidly about her choices regarding love, relationships, and motherhood. In her 50s, she adopted 2 children, Dexter and Duke, who became the center of her world. She openly discussed the joys and struggles of motherhood, embracing it with the same mixture of sincerity and wit that defined everything she did. In her later years, Diane Keaton continued to work steadily, starring in films like Morning Glory, 2010, and So It Goes, 2014, Book Club, 2018, and Mac and Rita, 2022. In 2024, she appeared in the British comedy Arthur's Whiskey and in the film Summer Camp, both of which showcased her comedic brilliance well into her late 70s. Even as her career stretched into its 6th decade, she remained delightfully eccentric, fiercely independent, and genuinely beloved. One of the most touching moments in her final year was the release of her holiday single First Christmas, a personal project that fulfilled a lifelong dream. It was classic Keaton, unexpected, heartfelt, and joyful. Fans loved it, not because it was perfect, but because it was her. On October 11, 2025, the world learned of her passing. Though the cause of death was not immediately disclosed, those close to her shared that her health had declined suddenly. Tributes flooded in from actors, directors, and fans alike. Al Pacino remembered her as the heartbeat of so many unforgettable films. Diane Keaton's death marked the end of an era, but her influence remains alive in countless ways, through the films that made us laugh, cry, and believe in love, through the women who found strength in her characters, and through the individuality she wore like her trademark hats. Her legacy is vast. She was an Academy Award winner, 4-time Oscar nominee, Golden Globe and BAFTA honoree, fashion muse, and cultural touchstone. But more than that, she was someone who made millions feel seen and loved just by being unapologetically herself. In a business that often rewards conformity, Diane Keaton built a career out of being different. Her life reminds us that brilliance doesn't need to be loud. It can be quirky, thoughtful, and wrapped in a bowler hat. And though the curtain has fallen on her remarkable life, her laughter, her style, and her unforgettable performances will echo through the halls of Hollywood for generations to come.